Yeah. Welcome to the open book, where truth don't hide, stories ride, and every chapter got that power. Turn the page, now you stepping in, where real ones talk and the fake pretend. From viral heat to deep convo, we write the truth, let the whole world know. This ain't just a channel, it's a movement. The open book, every story, every voice.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend so far. I know it is raining here in Texas, okay? But I love this kind of day. It's just a day to kind of chill, talk, relax. I'm not trying to do too much. My son is constantly on my case because they have to take some library books back today. So I like to do stuff in my own time on Saturday, not being held to a schedule. Okay. So I'm like, look, you got to wait till after my live. Okay. Then we'll look at the time then and go forward. Okay. But right now, y'all, I got the blanket just relaxing on the couch. And I want to get into some things. I was going to talk about this yesterday, but I said, let me talk today when I just feel a little more rested and where we could just chill out. Okay. Make sure, oh, baby, I misspelled something in my own little caption. Hold up. Let me remove that. I can't even remove it from here. Y'all know I don't like misspelled words, okay? Let me retype that right quick. But make sure y'all hitting that like button as you are coming in. Let everyone know we are live. I was typing too fast. Okay. Child, they be like, you an educator? Okay. All right, let's see who we have here so far. Good morning, Kimberly. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, sis, and for being first in the building. Welcome, Latte. Good afternoon to you, sis. Thank you for joining. Hey, Shani, good morning. Thank you for joining. My girl, Cree's Conversation Lounge is in the building. Welcome, sis. Thank you so much for joining. She said, take them babies back to the library. Yes, girl, that's what he wants. Okay. Believe me, they're open till late. So we got plenty of time. All right, so y'all, we are going to get into two topics, okay? One thing that I want us to discuss is now not going to watch her whole video, but baby, Laila Ali came out, and I'm for a good read, okay? Especially a classy read, okay? Baby, people will only allow you to play with their name for so long before they just have to pop out and show you. Okay. So we're going to kind of look at a little of Laila Ali's, and she said that's a part one. Okay. Part one to her read, baby, of Claressa Shields. Now, Claressa, for the past eight years, allegedly has been being slick with her words when it comes to Laila Ali, and Laila just been kind of letting it ride. Okay. Hey, Original Bay, good morning or good afternoon, y'all. I'm sorry. Hi, Mrs. E. Welcome. And so she just wanted to set the record straight on a couple of things. Now, I know if many of you may not know, or some may that are a part of the Latrue sector, and she's covered other stuff. I don't want to just put her into the Latrue sector. But this is where I met her. Her name is Sweet Ma for Life. Now, she has been also covering Claressa Shields, this whole situation for a while. And after Laila Ali did her video, she did an in-depth, thorough reaction. Okay. One thing about Sweet Ma, she has receipts. And so in the description field of this video, when you get a chance, I did include her link to that reaction. And y'all, Laila Ali even saw Sweet Ma's video, okay, and commented underneath that video. I was so happy for her. Oh my gosh, she deserves it because she puts a lot of work into her videos. Yes, and let me say my disclaimer. This live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. Another topic would be in regards to the Romeca Meeks case update. Now, y'all, in a deleted post, Holly's aunt, okay, made a post. And when I tell y'all, that post really lacks empathy. It really also screams that they are a little afraid, in my opinion, okay, for her to be so bothered. Like for people who are not worried about what the internet is saying and they have everything together. They've dotted their I's, crossed their T's. She's spending a lot of time watching content creators, responding to content creators, making posts about content creators, sharing pictures about Holly, but then wanting to say, there's no competition between Holly and Romeca by sharing all of these pictures. But what are you doing? Okay, that's my thing. What are you doing, ma'am? Because it's giving y'all are very much bothered and watching. Okay, if you're not bothered by something, you wouldn't even if you're spending family time with your family, how are you paying attention to the lives that are about to take place on YouTube? And then you pause your family activities to make a report or to correct someone or something like that. It's given you have your notifications on. Okay, some people will say, "Oh, I'm not watching. I don't look at this person. I don't watch this person," but yet you have the notification set. You're there before their own you're there before their own subscribers. Okay. That's what is given to me. All right. Hey, honey 5K, thank you for joining, sis. So right. Christian said, I can't stand when people can't see what they are doing. That part. Okay. So let's get into, before we get into that drama, let's get into this video right quick. Layla's. And I'm gonna pause it because, baby, when I tell you, Laila was given some. Although she was reading Claressa, some of this stuff can apply to us, okay, our lives. And when people try to play with our names and so forth, like it was a lot of great life lessons. And y'all, I must say, I love this portrait of Muhammad Ali in the background. I could not take my eyes off of it. I really, really love that.
Possibility of me making a comeback to boxing, and people have had a lot to say, but I have not addressed it until now. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to the question, will I be coming back? And I promise you, I'm going to give you that answer.
Yeah,
but first, I have got to address the lies and the fake narrative that's been created years ago. Now, someone's gotten way too comfortable dragging my name and even using my father's name to get attention and clout. Now, in case you haven't heard it, her story is that I didn't support her and I didn't pass the torch because of my jealousy and envy over her accomplishments in boxing. She says that I disrespected her and I started talking about knocking her out simply because I was bitter that she's outdone me. I've seen a lot of the comments. Many of you have good discernment and understand what's really going on here, while others have believed her lies over the years or have formed an opinion without having all the facts. Now, originally, I wasn't even going to give this my time or attention because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of negativity, drama, and buffoonery. But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
That's not gonna happen.
Come on now, listen. Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
no, come on, we ain't gonna do that.
No, that is right.
Come on, Laila can rumble though.
And Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. You know, she would have knocked Laila so pretty ass out.
So this right here.
Oh, but baby, I love that Laila came with video footage and receipts. See, some people, they'll be like, man, this person playing with my name, this person is doing X, Y, Z, and they don't really kind of show you. I mean, they could be telling the truth. Baby, Laila came with receipts, okay? And in that little response, Claressa, because I didn't even know who Claressa was. Now, my husband said he knew who she was. I didn't know who she was till she was fooling around with Papoose. That was the first introduction. I'm just being honest. This is my own opinion. No shade towards her. I had never heard about her. Okay. I do know Laila Ali. Okay. And so that was my first introduction to her. Then just in the past few months or so, I'm like, why is this girl talking about Laila Ali? This woman has a whole family, been minding her business, and she has Layla's name all up in her mouth. Okay. And she is not just Muhammad Ali's daughter, but she has proven herself with her own credentials, her own victories and successes. So that was throwing shade. And when folks say, yeah, with her little pretty self, obviously you think she's pretty. For you to throw it out there like that, you've clocked it. Okay, you feel that Laila is pretty too.
Here is the consequence. Now, I have been busy working on other projects that required all of my time and focus, which is why I'm just now saying something. But honey, I have made the time to address this. So today, the bad guy ain't getting away. Now let's hit rewind because we really need to see what's happened over the years, what got us here. Now I'm not about to do the whole he say, she say thing, so let me show you some receipts. I first met her in 2012 when she was invited on stage to stand next to me when I gave my father his Liberty Medal. At some point, she reached out, started asking me for advice, wanted to know if she should go to the Olympics a second time or go pro. She would also call me and let me know when she was fighting. Now at the time, I was one of the hosts of We Need to Talk, an all-female sports commentary show that still airs on CBS. I asked the producers if we could do a story on her. They agreed. So I got on a plane, flew to Colorado, and did a full sit-down interview with her. Now this is just a shortened version of the 6-minute piece that aired on CBS in 2016. "21-year-old Claressa Shields is as confident as her right hand is powerful. Soon, Claressa will be heading to Rio for the Olympics to try and do something that has never been done before. I sat down to talk with her about changing history and being a positive spark for her hometown. You should have heard the story by now. The one about a kid from Flint, Michigan who has gone toe-to-toe with adversity and stands undefeated.
But I'll always go back to Flint and help.
I know that when I was fighting, any of my struggles that I had to overcome or anything that I was upset about, whether it be something personal or something going on in the world, I would use that anger, and take it into the ring with me and channel that energy into the ring. Have you ever done that?
I did that a lot. I was going through stuff back at home, but I would have a boxing match and I would take out everything I was going through on the girl, and that kind of helped me because after I boxed, that was my ultimate high, and I felt like my life was perfect for at least 2 weeks. So
Claressa's father, a former underground fighter, was passionate about boxing.
He went on to tell me that Muhammad Ali, his daughter, Laila, took after him. And he's like, and my dad, he says it to this day, Laila's a bad girl. He says it all the time. He said nobody in our family took up boxing. I thought when he told me that, he was telling me to take after him.
Claressa beat the odds to win gold in 2012. When the Olympics start in August, she'll try to be the first American boxer to win back-to-back gold medals. Everybody's gonna be fighting you harder. Everybody's gonna be trying to elevate their game. They're gonna be running hard. They're gonna be training hard. They're gonna be dreaming about beating you. How are you preparing for that mentally and physically?
Honestly, I've learned how to beat every fighting style. Tall girls, short girls, girls my size. Cause I'm like, I'm pretty good, I'm pretty great, I don't know what I would do.
You're supposed to feel that way about yourself. Like you wouldn't have been able to get to this level if you didn't feel that way about yourself.
Yes.
I don't know about you ladies, but I have absolutely no doubt that Claressa is going to win gold again in the Olympics. Women's boxing wasn't even in the Olympics when I was boxing, right. So I'm like, do it for us, because she's in the weight class I would have been in. So I'm like, go get it, girl, go get it. There's a lot of women who have been training for a long time, and nobody knows who they are.
Now, notice what Laila said on that part, y'all. That had never been done before. If Claressa would have just stayed focused on her lane and what she was doing, she too was making history. Laila was giving her props even in that. Okay, she was saying, look, at my time, there wasn't even this particular thing in the Olympics. So she's rooting for her even in this moment. So she was, being a trailblazer in her own right. even during that time. So I'm glad that she showed that part.
So the Olympics just really gives them a platform and something to strive towards. I didn't even fight amateur because I was like, I can't go to the Olympics. Why should I do that? You know, I wanted to be in control of my career, but it's so great to see these young girls coming up. You know, we got 9-year-olds now and 10-year-olds, and they're inspired by people like Claressa. Now, as you can see, I was genuinely rooting for her. I gave her praise. I gave her a spotlight. When she asked for advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success in and outside of the ring. I told her about the challenges that I faced fighting at 168, where there was limited competition, and I suggested that if she decided to turn pro, she should consider going down in weight somewhere around 148, where she would have more competitive challenges. I told her she should hire a nutritionist, trim off that excess body fat, and get into elite next level shape. I pointed her in the right direction, and I had high hopes for her.
Now look, I ain't trying to start nothing, but there's been some other people that's been talking about Claressa weight now, okay? So when Laila, see, you got to understand and know where it's coming from when people are saying certain stuff. When Laila was talking about her weight, she was giving it from being in that same field, okay? They are, you know, she's been down that path before. Sometimes if we look at it as being jealous of people who've done great things, no, they've been down the path you're trying to get to. And so she's trying to tell her, look, these are some tips, some things you can do, trim that down. Now you have some out here, okay, clowning her right now about her weight, calling her pregnant, all of that. Now, yeah, they may be throwing shade, but when Laila was saying it, I don't believe she was throwing shade. Okay. Yes, Cree, and she wasn't competing with her. Right. To her, she had already done she's paid her dues. Like Tyra Banks has said. She said, you know, the younger models and things that are coming up, I want to mentor them, help them. You know, she did her show, America's Next Top Model. Okay. Having this for all of Eva. Y'all know Eva, hey, Miss Queen, okay. All the queens, men, madam, baby. She started off on America's Next Top Model. Okay. Now, Tyra was not hating on those girls. She was trying to mentor them and give them constructive feedback. Some people don't know how to receive constructive feedback because anytime you try to give them any feedback, they get in their feelings. Okay, they think you're talking about them, shading them, don't want them to be successful, don't want them to be good. No, that's not what she was doing when she was saying it. She wanted her to be great. She's showing that I was trying to give her compliments, help her along her journey, not hinder her or shade her or stop her. But if she has other people even now talking about her weight, they're not doing it from a good place that they're trying to help her. Okay. So you have to recognize the voice that's being sent to tell you those things because it does matter. Some people are not against you. They are for you.
Whether she decided to turn pro or not, I felt like her future was bright if she played her cards right. But of course, at the time, I was not aware of her divisive, vindictive, and malicious nature. And I know those are strong words, but they actually fit. This girl has created a pattern. It's been directed towards many people time and time again. Now, before we started our interview in Colorado, she said to me, "You're the name people say when it comes to women's boxing. You're the face they know. I want that to be me." Now, looking back after everything that's unfolded, it seems pretty calculated now. Like she was waiting for the right moment, the right excuse to finally do what she'd already made up her mind to do. I mean, that's how it feels now. She told me she saw me as the face of women's boxing, and she told me that she wanted my spot. And she's been on a mission to ruin my reputation ever since, simply because she heard me make a comment that was not about her and she took it personal. Fast forward to 2018, I was promoting my cookbook, Food for Life, and went on The Breakfast Club, a national show with millions of listeners. I did a 36-minute interview, and when the topic of boxing came up, I actually mentioned her and made positive comments. Then much later into the interview, I was asked about the possibility of a comeback.
Would you ever get back in the ring just for fun?
Is getting some good attention. Now remember, at the time, we were on good terms. She was reaching out to me and referring to me as Big Sis. But this was her response.
I watch
the Breakfast Club video with Laila Ali. You know, I have so much respect for her, you know, and I like her. I actually call her my big sis, but it was so many shots thrown. Like, if y'all really paid attention, you know, her saying, oh, there's not nobody good enough at 168, my weight class, that could give her a challenge when I'm the number one in my weight class. And, you know, I'm just like, you know, nah. And, you know, I just feel like, you know, she gave props where it's due, but, you know, she also spoke on how, you know, what I'm doing for women's boxing is great, but it's not great enough for her. When it's like, we got two different goals and sets in life. You know, me winning 2 Olympic gold medals is just the beginning. You know, even when she was boxing, she never fought on Showtime, HBO. I fought the main event on Showtime. I don't know how many times now. You know, fastest woman to win a world title. I did it in 4 fights. You know, and yeah, you can say, oh, the competition isn't there, and this girl wasn't that. But like I did it up in 4 fights, and so the girls that Laila Ali fought wasn't, you know, that great either. I mean, like, I'm the best female boxer that I've ever seen, and you know, if Laila Ali was to come back, we can rumble, we can go. You know, this is not like, oh, I'm gonna step away. Like I respect her and everything, but you know, you're not gonna come back and beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this can happen. You know, I just don't like the disrespect. And it's my last video too about this. You know, I never used her name to try to be like, you know, try to call her out of retirement. It's basically like she talking about she come out of retirement, she just gonna beat me if she decided to.
Now, of course, I didn't respond to this, but I noted it. For someone who hardly had any experience as a professional boxer and who was supposedly looking up to me, for her to think that I would even call her name in a conversation about me fighting or making a comeback was silly to me.
Okay. But y'all, just peep that. Okay, it's about what she heard in that. Sometimes you could be saying certain things and people will take it as in you're saying this, but that's how they deciphered that. Okay, that's how they took it. It wasn't what Laila said. And my thing is, if Laila has been successful in her career, it's nothing wrong with talking about what you've done and speaking from a point of being confident in what you've done and who you are. You know, why should we have to water down who we are? Because she's a fighter by nature. She says she loves winning, period. Just because that's how a person feels about themselves, that should not make you shine any less. That's what she's saying. But Claressa was taking that as in, oh, she's throwing shade at me by her saying XYZ. No, do you have the confidence? And like she also just said, she's older now. She has more experience. Now, does that mean that she's the greatest at all times? Hey, that's left to be said, because there are others that will come after a person, right? But it's okay with knowing, look, I was the reigning champion XYZ this year, that year, and so forth. Let's see. Latte said, first thing is to think someone is directing something to you when they never said your name negatively. Exactly right. Honey 5K says she triggered all her insecurities. Come on now. And that is like a sign of being insecure. If you take everything in a negative light, if someone says your name and they are saying, you know, I've done this, but then you're looking at, oh, they trying to down me. They're trying to say I'm not good enough. Hey, Silver, welcome. Thank you for joining. Why can't Laila let Claressa have her time? Well, the only reason she said she brought that up during that time is they asked her a question in that particular moment. And Claressa has been saying her name, and she said that she's been letting a lot of stuff slide. Okay, hey, Cancer 66, welcome. And now I guess it's going too far, because now she brought up Muhammad Ali's name as well. Okay, so some people get clout or try to get clout just from saying your name. That, you know, they know if I throw this name out here, it's going to get attention. It's really not off of their own name, okay? Because when I think of her, like I told y'all, I didn't know about the successes. I didn't follow the boxing thing like that, okay? But I know of her being with Papoose, and he was still a married man. That's how I knew her, okay? Now, this other stuff, now that she's throwing out Laila's name and trying to fight her, that's bringing more clout to her name, Okay, because now people are like, wait, who is this girl that's calling out Layla Ali? Now it's bringing out more clout. Deanna said, I really don't like this for Claressa. She is her own enemy. She doesn't comprehend. Claressa is talented, but she needs to grow up. I think she has some growing to do. And once she comes into the knowledge of who she is without the indirect beef or competition, that's not even, it's like a one-sided thing. But y'all, if you think back to when she said her father really looked up to, Muhammad Ali and Layla Ali, maybe she's trying to get her name out there more than Layla Ali to look like she's better than her in not just her father's eyes, but also everyone's eyes. That, like she said, when people say boxing or women's boxing, Claressa comes to mind instead of Layla. But you got to understand, Layla has fans as well, regardless of whether she's playing or not. Muhammad Ali, he was still great. We still knew who he was when we thought of men's boxing, but we also knew of other great boxers as well. So it doesn't always have to be, just this one person, because everyone is their own individual. What do you bring to the game? Okay. Allegedly, a baby daddy lawyered up. That means the fear of going to prison has been presented to him, stealing from the dead while on the ground. Lord, take the wheel and drive fast. Okay, hey, Derek, who are you talking about, Derek? What is that? Because, baby, I'm lost on that one. It's good to be confident, but it's different to have a cocky attitude. That shows insecurity. Yes, that's true, too. I agree.
Especially since I had literally told her that I retired from boxing because I didn't feel inspired or challenged anymore by the level of competition that was available to me. We had that talk. So I learned a lot about her character and her mindset. She took what I said out of context and made it all about her. I decided I was no longer going to invest time or energy into her. But she, on the other hand, she took it straight to social media, started comparing her boxing skills to mine, making negative comments about me, and pitting herself against me in a fight. A year later, I was doing press for my show Homemade Simple on OWN, so I went on Sway Universe, another syndicated national show with millions of listeners. We were talking, he asked me about boxing, he asked me about her, I said positive comments as usual, then he plays one of her visits.
Are you watching women's boxing today?
Oh yeah.
You like Claressa?
I do. I think that she's a talented fighter, and she has the opportunity right now. The stage is set, so now she just has to kind of do her thing.
Talk about Homemade Simple, airing Saturdays 9 a.m. on the OWN network. Okay, it's an incredible show. I had Claressa here, right? I asked her who does she think would win, and you against you in your prime and her now. And this is what she said.
She's not cut like me. She don't take the challenges. Like, she didn't fight against Ann Wolf. I fight against the best and beat the best. And if Layla Ali was to come out of retirement, I beat her too.
That's not anything I haven't heard before. First of all, she's supposed to feel like she's the greatest.
Absolutely.
But just because you think you are doesn't mean you are.
Okay.
I like to support and uplift people. And I think that on your way up, just do your best not to disparage those that have come before you. First of all, she could never beat me. Okay. Let me just get that straight right now.
You want to get that straight, Laila?
Let's get that straight right now. Okay. And not simply because she's not strong enough, okay, because I would definitely knock her out, but because she's not talented enough to beat me. It's a sweet science to boxing. The reason why you have not been able to knock out the opponents that you've already faced, I can totally see it. Why? But maybe if you would have been a little more respectful, and I'm not talking about thinking you can beat me and call it that, do all that. I'm talking about just trying to, she didn't do this, she didn't do that. Yeah. I don't respect her as a boxer. I only respect her as a businesswoman. I've heard her say that before. I was always there for her because she's a young black girl from Flint, Michigan. Yeah, Flint. And I want to help uplift her because that's the Ali way. I am successful in so many areas outside of boxing. Boxing is not what defines me. There's always going to be another girl. But I tell you what, when I offered her to spar me, that definitely was a check right there to see. Let me see what kind of heart she has. You should come whoop me just for bragging rights. And she didn't take me up on that offer. I said, okay. And let's put this in context. I'm only talking about this because you're...
Okay, now, wait a second. Woo! Now, I can't say this. Now, Layla seemed to look like, hey, like that really hit a nail right there with her. When he played that, her whole breathing changed. Her breathing changed. Laila was like, I know she did. Because she was just giving her nice words, And imagine you're doing that, being classy, giving a person their props. And then they play that person's response. And here they go. Like, oh my gosh. So now Laila is like, I gave this girl an opportunity, not even with any money on the table. Let's do this for fun so you can get bragging rights. And she didn't go through with it. You had your chance right there. What was she afraid of in that moment? Okay, so now you rather be out here on social media. You would be in these interviews, still talking mess and crap about her. But when she gave you the opportunity, bam, you could not do it. Okay, your family feud. All right. Oh, okay. That part, Deanna. Right.
Asking me.
She's done a ton of interviews since then, and she's always saying I disrespected her. Now you've seen what she's been referring to. So she felt justified to go on a tirade, and of course, she's twisted the story over the years and taken my comments out of context. Now, according to her, I just started talking about knocking her out, just out of jealousy. Now you've seen what I said, what she said, how this started, and you can see she pitted herself against me in a fight. Now, I know some of this younger generation may not be familiar with me, but I've never been one to just talk about things I can't do. When I said that I would knock her out back in 2019, it wasn't any different than what I've said to anyone who's challenged me in the past. You can go back and look at tape on me. That was not just talk for me, it's what I did. TKO, KO, it didn't matter. I was gonna stop you. It wasn't going to a decision. And if you didn't belong in there with me, I was gonna get you out of there. That's just facts. That's not disrespect, that's boxing talk. Back then in 2020, I did get to a point where I was ready to get back in the ring and show her why, even though she is talented, I said it back then and I'm saying it now, but she could never outbox me. High-level promoters did reach out to me directly, and we had some serious conversations about me making a comeback. Now, of course, she was never even involved in any of those discussions. Then COVID happened, you know how that was, and it all went away, and I left it alone. Now, here is just a small glimpse of the narrative that she's been building over the years.
But I feel like Laila Ali has always been kind of envious of me. I'm just so accomplished in women's boxing, and she never got that due diligence and that respect. So to see me getting it kind of pisses her off. So you look at who she fought. Her biggest test was freaking Vonda Ward and Christy Martin. And Christy Martin weighed in at 140 pounds, and Laila Ali was 160. Like, how are you making matches like that? So Laila Ali is a hater. That's it. Nothing but her being a hater and her being, envious of my success and what I've done for women's boxing. And she feels like she deserves that credit because everybody kind of give it to me now. And I think that she's like, but, I'm an Ali daughter and I boxed before her and I'm 24-0 with 21 knockouts. And she kind of, want people to keep acknowledging her. She's retired.
She's retired.
And
she's
been
probably
retired for a long time. 43. I hate when somebody else try to take somebody else's shine, somebody else's attention. It's like, she's, nobody was trying to take her attention when it was her time. Undisputed champion. She's never been undisputed. And people are comparing me to her, and she gets offended. When it was like, to me, I thought it was a good comparison.
Y'all, I just got to pause for a second. Oh my gosh. This is like, oh my goodness. Okay, so it's like a one-sided beef. She's out here continuing to say Laila's name, okay? It's a one-sided competition. Have you ever been involved and someone's watching you and they're competing with you and you don't even know that you're in the competition? You're like, I didn't even know we were competing. I'm so like over here minding my business, but you're acting so bothered. Laila has her own family, been out here with her cooking shows. I have only heard her mention Claressa's name if someone like on those interviews that she's showing, when someone has mentioned her name to Laila and she's responded. But I haven't seen her on her social media popping up. Oh, let me tell you about Claressa. I could beat her up. I could do this. I could do that. Like, why is it every time you're putting her name out here and she's not putting your name out here? Right, Deanna? It's given, you're sounding crazy. Okay? You're sounding crazy at that point. Hey, Jasmine, welcome. She said, I don't think that relationship with Papoose is going to last. Girl, It's and not. Okay, and not is temporary. And watch that there, that whole thing, mark my words, is going to go extremely left. Watch. Just mark my words. It's going to go left. This girl, is some stuff that I'm starting to really, really notice with her.
Comparison, because I feel like I box way better than her, and for them to be saying that me and her are equal or whatever, she should have been happy because of that, because they're giving her more props on her skills, which I feel like she didn't really have that much. But you know, whatever. Yeah, we had Laila Ali, respect, but she can't do for women's boxing what I'm doing. I'm gonna be different, because I'm gonna give my blessing, or I'm gonna let a girl take her blessing. And what that means, I'm gonna fight the girls coming up, and if they beat me, now they're the best. That's how you do it. My advice, Laila, is you will look a lot better, and people will stop calling you a hater and calling you jealous and old and bitter. If you actually stop hating, bro, you will look better if you was to support the black girl from Flint who made it out the trenches to where she at now. You will look a lot better. She wants to try to make it still seem like she's somewhat relevant in women's boxing. When people give her props about how she built up women's boxing, and I just don't feel the same way. What really did you do for women's boxing? Like, you let it die. You let it die for 20 years, and then I had to come and put in all this extra work to get it to where it is now. I think that wasn't fair, and I don't think that she was as big as a pioneer in women's boxing as she thinks she was. Because I would never do that. I would pass the torch.
There are hundreds.
But my thing is, I give Claressa props in the form of you're being used at this time. Okay? It's your moment. But are you going to give your moment away by talking about Laila Ali? In her time, that was her moment. You're trying to pull her out, thinking that, oh, if I beat her, this is the ultimate. I can say I beat Laila Ali. Okay? Well, if she wants to do it, that's up to her. But you're missing your moment in all the people that you are able to beat that is called for such a time as this. Not going back into history, trying to beat up someone who's well into what? Laila, I ain't trying to offend you. How old are you, girl? Because she looks young. I don't even know. Is Laila 50 yet? Yeah, if you know Layla's age, let me know. Because I know in that interview she said 40-something. So I don't know if she's late 40s or 50s. But child, she looks good. Okay, to have had kids and said she's still in shape and still training. Okay, welcome, Terry. Thank you so much for that. Deanna said she is a special kind of wait a minute. Not a special kind of special. What woman goes around talking about starting a family with a whole married man? Right. And proud of it. I really feel sorry for her. She is going to end up hurt. Exactly. Shout out to Terry for the super sticker. I appreciate that. He said 8 super chats to go. Did someone else send one that I missed? Okay, well, thank you, Terry. Yes, y'all, if you want to help me reach my goal, Terry said it's 8 more to go. You can send any amount and it will go towards the goal. Or if you want to send a Cashapp, that is scrolling on the screen. My coffee link is in the description field of this video. Thank you so much, Terry. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. Where are the little girls that she is inspiring or helping the sport go further? Laila is not 50 yet. She is in her 40s. Thank you, Deanna. Okay, because I didn't want to offend her. She looks so good. That's what I'm saying. So she's in her 40s, you know. Laila is happy. She has 2 beautiful, thriving children, married. She is not bitter. And Claressa is in her early 30s. How is she calling anyone? Oh, that's the part. Girl, get someone in your own league. This lady has gone on with her life. Now, she says she still trains and she stays ready. Okay, so if she has to come back out of retirement, then hey, yes, he is still married. This is a very toxic situation. Okay, but watch, that is going to go really left. When this breaks up, oh my gosh, y'all.
Hundreds and hundreds of women who have participated in the sport of boxing over the years. They have all made a contribution in their own way. We don't need to argue over who's done more. That destructive crab in a barrel mentality is exactly what we don't need in the sport. Here she is on a recent podcast explaining how she's passing the torch and that she has created a blueprint for success, which she is now sharing with other female fighters. She says that the number one thing they need to know is how to build their brand.
I actually promote a woman fighter, and I'm giving her all the jewels and stuff that I know so she can get her big paydays too. It's a blueprint now on how you make $1 million, even if you don't have the gold medals. The biggest blueprint is build your brand.
Oh, she must have forgot years ago she recorded this and said that I gave her the piece of advice that she is now referring to as the most valuable piece of information that you need to be successful. But supposedly I didn't support her and I didn't want to pass the torch.
Laila told me to build my brand, a good brand, and a brand that I want to represent and stand for. And she said have good people behind me who I trust.
So this whole idea that she started about me being jealous because of her accolades and her surpassing me, do you realize that for years, fans have believed that there's so many fighters that are better than me? I mean, they have more titles than me. Multi-million-dollar fights are happening, more money than I ever made, more money than she's making. So I guess if I'm supposedly jealous of her, I must be hating on them too, right? Nope, I actually celebrate other women's success. I have relationships with those women. We have mutual respect. It's all love. She's the only one who decided to make herself my opposition. And she has created this drama and she's kept it going for the past 8 years. People came to know her because she kept calling out my name. She's obsessed with me and she literally cannot keep the name Laila Ali out her mouth. There are people who will say, she's confident, she talks trash. That's what fighters do. Yes, fighters talk. Nobody did it better than my father and me, and we backed it up. I've never had a problem with a fighter saying they could beat me or that they think they're better than me. That's expected. I don't consider that disrespect. But what I do have a problem with is a liar or someone who intentionally tries to disparage me in order to gain visibility and respect. As I mentioned in my interview on Sway, about 8 years ago, I offered her sparring during one of our phone conversations. I was like 40, 41. It was just to give her some work. Well, she changed that subject and never took me up on the sparring. So when I mentioned it on Sway, there was a lot of comments from the public because people were surprised that she wouldn't have taken that opportunity. Now, can you imagine if she and I were to get in the ring and spar back then? You know, there would have been camera phones, it would have been recorded. She would have proof of what she could do and vice versa. So I guess after the feedback and comments that she saw, she felt the need to take it to social media and put out an excuse.
I don't sway that if I was so tough that I would have sparred her for brownie points. I am a 2-time Olympic champ. Only thing that matters to me is what happened outside of practice. She talking about practice. Take the Ellen Iverson. Talking about practice. I don't care about sparring nobody. I'll get in there and spar and work with anybody. All I care about is fighting. But like I said, she don't really care about women's boxing.
So that was her response. Why sparring? It doesn't mean anything. But many years later, she comes up with a whole new story.
And the thing is, she keeps saying, one time she asked me to spar. Let me tell you this. Jason Crutchfield was my eyes and my ears back then. Because I was naive. I don't pay attention to stuff. Jason had already told me back then she feels some type of way. Coming in, gold medals and doing your thing, he was like, she feels some type of way. But she's still embracing you though. And I said, okay, whatever. But I had mad love for her though. So it was like, the closest thing to Muhammad Ali is Laila Ali. So I love this girl, you know what I'm saying? And looking to her, took her advice and everything. He said, when we going down here, because she had appointed me to give Muhammad Ali the Liberty Medal in Philadelphia. Now that when she asked me to spar, I said, you want to spar me? And that's when it was more of like a, dang, I hate that coach was right about you. I'm like, okay, well, we can spar when you want to spar. I got my stuff in the car. She like, no, it ain't like that. I'm more about, let's not talk about it, let's be about it.
Now, you know that was a flat out lie. We know that if that...
Yo, let me not laugh when I say this part. Something is going on in her head. Like she's having a whole conversation in her head. Now, if she can present receipts of that conversation or something like that, but I'm just like, did she just make up a whole conversation? And that's the part that's bothering her, is she's out here lying with and using her name. That's the whole issue. It's not her saying, oh, I can beat Laila. It's her adding two things, making up things Laila said. When she falls off, it's going to be really bad. Her words are going to haunt her, right? All the boxers paved the way for her, right, Miss Lisa, and welcome.
That were true, she would have said it years ago when it first was mentioned that she wouldn't spar me. There is absolutely no way she would have passed up the chance to tell everyone that she called my bluff and I backed down. Now, can you imagine if she and I were to get in the ring and spar back then? You know, there would have been camera phones, it would have been recorded. She would have proof of what she could do and vice versa. I did an interview with Andre for his podcast too, before I had a chance to see her episode. And if you go watch her interview, everything's I think this, somebody told me that, no facts. I need you to understand how deep this goes with this girl. Now I know she's on a constant search for validation. She needs to feel important, and it's obvious she's fixated on me. But watch how she sits on The Breakfast Club, the same show she saw me on back in 2018 when I said I wasn't making a comeback. She goes on in 2020 after dragging my name for years and acts like she has no idea why I no longer support her or want anything to do with her. Now, she knows The Breakfast Club is a national show with millions of listeners, so she's careful not to say anything negative about me because that wouldn't fit the story she's trying to sell. Instead, she plays it safe so she can position herself as the victim.
Do I want to fight a 41 or 40-year-old Laila Ali? No. I want to actually her embrace me, I embrace her, and we build women's boxing to the place where it's supposed to be at. But I don't think she sees that vision. Like she doesn't show me any kind of support. Like I see her all the time commenting on this other boxer girl page, Katie Taylor, and always telling her congrats and everything. But then with me, it's like she don't show any kind of respect or acknowledgement. And I'm a black girl just like she is, who came up hard, and I have to been making my way forever. Like I made my own way. I wasn't handed anything. Just about supporting each other, you know what I'm saying? But
I wonder why she wouldn't though. Like, did you say something about her back in the day?
I just think that in boxing, she feel like she never got her fair share. I feel like she never got to the point where she wanted to get to, and people recognize Laila Ali, but they always try to say like, oh, she only was big because of her dad, and they don't really give her props on her skills. I'm not one of those people. And then some people say that she didn't fight Ann Wolf, but me being a woman fighter, now I realize that it's hard to make big fights with other big women. It really is. So think about it. Back then, when it wasn't a lot of money, wasn't TV exposure, I kind of can see why her and Ann Wolf didn't fight. But people's story is that she was scared of Ann Wolf, and Ann Wolf would have knocked her out. And that's their story.
3 months later, she takes her mask off and she's back to her usual story.
Well, Ann Wolf, you were a better fighter than her. And I believe that that's where this whole beef started from. That, you know, I spoke on that. She hates whenever your name gets mentioned. She still to this day mentions your name. Say how you were scared of her, how you didn't want to fight her. And I don't believe that for 1 second. And she may have a bigger name, but that's because women's boxing wasn't supported how we are now. If Laila Ali came up in this generation, she would not be known. Nobody would know of her. I know for a fact you would have put Laila Ali ass to sleep. So just because you couldn't do it, you know, you didn't have the opportunity because, you know, she didn't want to sign a paper to fight you, I'm letting you know now, I'm going to kick her ass for the both of us. Yeah, we all know Laila Douglas and Wolf. We know that. We don't got to, she know that. Everybody know that. It's literally written.
And let me say this, and this part is almost over, y'all. Some people will use other people as pawns in their one-sided beef. They'll put people out here. Oh, let me throw this person's name up to get their attention so that they can feel some type of way and maybe join forces with me or go after that person. Okay, so let me throw their name out here as well to get them riled up and started. So you got to pay attention to when people are trying to use your name as a pawn to throw you out there so you could get attacked, or throw you out there so that you could get thrown into the beef with them. Okay, that's another tactic that is used. Right, drama queen. She doesn't want it like this. Laila has receipts and making her look crazy. Okay, I'm telling you, Deanna, she really is.
I think somewhere.
Now, I've seen this before with Ann Wolf, another fighter who used the same playbook. Both of these women have a lot in common in terms of the way they've been able to get visibility for themselves by using my name and making up lies. Since I'm in the season of pulling skirts, I'm gonna go ahead and pull hers too. And I'm gonna do another video on her next. That lie that I would not fight her has been told so many times as if it's a true fact. So I'll be gathering my receipts on her too, since she wants to start talking again. This one is so detached and delusional that she actually praises my father while trying to trash his daughter.
Yeah, we had Laila Ali, but she can't do for women's boxing what I'm doing. I kind of feel like God wants me to be like the next Muhammad Ali. I kind of feel like God wants me to be like the next Muhammad Ali. I think it's Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, me. That's it. Learn from Muhammad Ali. If you don't validate yourself first, nobody else ever will. You know, if she wants to be like in the public and keep her name tied to mine because I'm young and popping. Right now, it's my time. And she wants to keep her name connected to mine. Listen, Muhammad Ali would never. Her daddy would never. Her daddy would never. Maybe she don't have that in her genes.
Now, what father would embrace someone like her or want to be associated with someone like her while she's trying to tear down his very own child?
Back, y'all. My apologies. Technical difficulties. Are we back? Are we back? Okay. Also, y'all, I wanted to share this right quick. If a person can't get to you, they will try to come after and say the names of your loved ones or people that are close to you. Okay. So then she started bringing up her father. Okay. Trying to get her all riled up. And it looked like it really did now get Laila's attention. Okay. So now she's giving her what she's been wanting. That was part one. Okay. Laila said she is going to come back with part two of Let the Record Show. And in that part, she stated that she's going to talk about the $15 million deal. Okay. That was put out there by Claressa, and go more into receipts showing all of that part. So, baby, she shared a short, I think yesterday, that said, or was it, no, that may have been for part one, but she said part two is coming soon. So I don't know if that's coming up this week or next week, but child, we are definitely going to be tuned in. Laila don't have nothing to prove to Claressa. Exactly. Carlos, yes, Carlos allegedly lawyered up. She is delusional for real. Okay, now y'all, let's get into our next topic. Make sure y'all vote. Let me see what y'all have said so far with the poll. So the question was, do you feel that there will be a fight between Laila Ali and Claressa? 71% of you said no. 29% said yes. Okay. So we're definitely going to watch for that. Okay. Because that will be interesting. It will definitely be interesting. But Claressa, quit playing with people's names. Okay. That's the thing. She is making up lies, playing with her name and so forth. Like, you can be confident in yourself and your abilities, but when you start lying on people, making up these false narratives, that's when people say enough is enough. And then when you are starting to talk about their loved ones, bringing their loved ones' names into things, enough is enough. It really is. All right. Now, let's get into our next topic of discussion with the Romeca Meeks updates, okay? Case updates. Now, y'all, the aunt had a post, okay? I went back on there and I couldn't find it, but y'all, I wanted to read to y'all what it stated. Let's kind of go through this, okay? Because if I put it up, the writing is too small. I don't think y'all will be able to see all of it. Okay, it says, good morning. Let Raquel Lachey Wilson, who's 37 in California. So she's putting content creators full names out there. Okay. I think that's like an intimidation tactic when people do that so that you can quit talking about the story and so forth. No, I'm not covering the story yet as a content creator. Now, we talked about how this auntie has channels. She has a Facebook channel and a YouTube channel that has, I think, over 14 something thousand subscribers. And she hasn't gone live from that YouTube channel as of yet, but she was speaking like she would start going live and possibly covering this story and be a voice for Holly Johnson, okay, which is her niece. Let's see, it's no need for Laila to fight her or come out of retirement. Right. Hey, V, good afternoon. I hope you're having a wonderful day as well, sis. Thank you for joining. Then she said, once a charging decision is made, I'll be covering it, but on a major platform, not random social threads. So she's stating that allegedly there has not been a charging decision on Holly Johnson, whether she is guilty or I should say an indictment, because they have to go through that part first before they charge her. So she's saying that once a decision is made, then she, I guess, plans on going onto like a major news platform or do an interview on a major platform, not just social media. And I truly, truly doubt that. Okay. Because especially if they say the case is closed and they're not charging Holly, baby, she's already on Facebook. So I definitely see her coming to YouTube to try to get those views and that money. Okay. Yes, I saw that. And it is an intimidating tactic. Yes. Okay. Definitely. She states, I average 4 million views a month. I wonder on what platform. Let me make a note. I'm going to make a note of that. Where's my pen? Because I'm like Laila. I like receipts, baby. Okay, I like receipts. I'm not saying she doesn't, but I'm gonna look into that, y'all, because she's saying that she averages 4 million views a month. But I haven't really been posting since this incident because my focus has been my family. This is our real lives. Well, yes, she has been posting. She's been sharing content on different topics, EBT cards, all kind of crime that's taking place, all of that. So a person that doesn't post, they wouldn't hardly have anything. She's been posting Holly's pictures. So I don't know what she's talking about right there because yes, you have definitely been posting. Okay. Derek said, who is Clarissa's daddy? Holyfield. No. She did mention her dad at the beginning of that video though. I can't think of his name. If you want to go back and look at that part of the replay, in the video, she did say who her father was, but he encouraged her to box as well. Like Muhammad Ali, that was Layla's mentor and helping her. She also had a father that was involved with her boxing career as well. Hey, Jay, shout out to Jay. And thank you for the super chat. She said, at the nail shop with my granddaughters, just dipping in for a minute. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. We have missed you. And look, Jay, one thing I can say about you, you stay on the go, okay, and involved in your granddaughters' lives and so forth. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good morning. Joy to the world is in the building. Welcome, sis. Hey, Nina. Thank y'all for joining, ladies. Yeah, she's been busy posting. Okay. So I don't know where she has not been posting. Who is she trying to fool? Because they're clearly posts over there. Okay. She said she was talking back to Raquel Lachey, when you and Antoine Keys get done, now she's bringing Big Keys into it. It's still not going to bring Romeca back. Now, y'all, I want in this paragraph, y'all to observe, in my opinion, the lack of empathy, okay, in this paragraph. It's still not going to bring Romeca back. And it's still not going to change the fact that she saw them, blocked Holly in, got out of her car, and violated the restraining order. Nothing can ever change the decisions made on that day. Now, this here is also something that has not been confirmed. Where's the evidence? Okay, that's y'all will hear me say that over and over and over. Where is the evidence and the proof? So for you to sit here and put it's still not going to change the fact, we don't know that. Okay, you're going by what Holly has stated. We don't know if she saw them and that was her reason for pulling over. We don't know. Blocking Holly in, there was plenty of space for Holly to get out. We know that she got out of the car, and this restraining order is still left to be looked into because, child, we know it was by default, but all of the stuff you told the court that was allegedly done through texts, phone calls, and all of that, they need to verify the authenticity of that because, like I stated in my video yesterday, it's still a possibility that people can use some of these crafty little apps, these text now apps. We have AI. So I think, they need to verify and make sure that the things that were being done wasn't Holly herself or someone that she joined forces with that came up with all of these threads, okay, to make things look a certain type of way so that she could then get the restraining order. If we're going to bring up the restraining order, okay, it's not beyond possible for that to happen. People do it all of the time. Okay, Joy, we just got started on this topic. This is a post from the auntie, Holly's aunt. Okay. Hi, No More Drama. Welcome. Hey, Louise. Thank y'all for joining. Isn't she lovely? Is in the building. Hi, Sexy Red. Thank you for joining. Deanna said it's the narrative they are trying to put out. Exactly. Okay. It's the narrative that they're trying to put out. Let's continue. So she said, not dragging innocent people into this, not bringing up the 2 misdemeanor charges Holly had as a 20-year-old. I don't care how old she was. Child is on a record, is on a record. Okay. It doesn't matter that she was 20. Well, shoot, she's 31 posting I would never videos. Girl. Or I don't know, she was 30 during that time of 31. She's a whole adult out here acting like she's in high school. So nothing she's doing right now makes her look any older or more mature out here. That's all we're saying. Nothing will change the events of September 8th. Trying to compare Holly and Romeca's pictures or hoping for an arrest still won't change the facts of that day. Okay, so she's saying that people that are sharing Romeca's pictures are trying to compete with Holly. No, because I think you sharing the pictures, Quadre sharing the pictures, because we still have not seen Carlos share a picture. Okay, if you want to impress a child, have the one that you did all this for share you on his page. Okay, the other ones, whatever. Now, by y'all doing that, it's making it look like y'all are trying to compete with Romeca. People are sharing Romeca's pictures because we are trying to get justice for Romeca. Believe me, we are not trying to post pictures trying to make Holly look some type of way. Because, child, when y'all shared the pictures of the maternity, wait a minute. The maternity photos, that made her look crazy. Okay, that made her look like a single Black female because she was copying the things that Romeca had already done. Romeca's son is older than her child. Okay, so she had already had her maternity photos and things like that. Her niece was wrong. This family is too cocky. It's sickening. Right. Carlos doesn't have mom anymore because of Holly. Right. Little Carlos. Exactly. I'm telling y'all, it's heartless. I just could not believe it. And I can pull it up, y'all, but let me see. Just so y'all will see that this was a post from her, but I know it's little writing. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. So see, I knew, so I'm gonna read it too. So I just want y'all to see that it's up here too. All right. Then she goes on. I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th paragraph. The childish antics are getting old. You and Antoine don't want justice. If you did, you'd be at the protest on the front line, not online acting out. Get off the internet and show up in person for that family. You would think that y'all would show up at least with a little empathy or sympathy for the family because of what your niece did on that day. Even if you feel that she may have been justified in what she did on that day, just to at least say, I'm sorry that that happened, but my niece did have this restraining order against her. And, I know we're still trying to find out the complete details of that day. Y'all still have our condolences. Like that would sound a little softer and more Christian like, since that is one of the focuses on your page that you like to portray. That would show some type of Christ like behavior. Okay, but this is given, we don't care what happened. It's given, she was in the right and so forth. Um, then she says, I can only imagine how bad all this looks to the detectives. I've never seen anything like this online during an open investigation. So allegedly, she's saying that this is still an open case, okay, that is being investigated, allegedly. Okay. If y'all think these antics are helping, you're sadly mistaken. You're actually giving the defense attorney more credibility on our witness side. Because at the end of the day, y'all are doing exactly what Romeca did, bullying Holly and Carlos. How are people bullying Holly and Carlos when they're speaking about the facts of things that have been put out here, I should say, the public things, okay? We don't even know, which is one of the issues I have, of any official statements, any press conferences, anything of that sort. They need to take a page out of Philadelphia's book because Kata Scott went missing. Okay. Do y'all know we have had multiple press conferences from that department? Okay. They're at least, yeah, since it's on a photo, so it won't let me for some reason on here. That's why I said, y'all, I'm trying to read it for y'all because the writing is a little small. Okay. Jasmine said, right, this explains why Holly is who she is. She gets it from her elders. Okay. We can sense it's the nice nastiness that we can sense while reading this post. We can pick that up. Let's see here. And we don't know if Romeca bullied her, so quit putting that out there because it looks like, based off of the videos, that Holly was taunting her multiple times. Okay, we don't want to see another video of I would never or anything else she had to say because it's making her look crazy. Okay, the detectives have to take their time to get it right, whether that means filing charges or closing the case. Okay, requesting justice is one thing, but harassment and bullying is another. At the end of the day, God has the final say, and y'all need to remember that. Done talking about it. Okay, and she'll probably post later. But yes, I agree with this part. God has the final say. Yes, he said, vengeance is his. He will repay. You also have to remember that. See, when people throw God out there, you have to know that God is a loving God and God is still a God of justice. Okay. So if something was gone, you may could get away with it here on earth, or it even may look like you're getting away with it here on earth. But baby, best believe you reap what you sow. And what goes around comes around. Those are not just cliches, but those are things that actually do happen in real life. Okay. So we must consider that when we start putting it out. Oh, leave it alone. God has to find a say. Yeah, he sure does. He sure does. When people say, oh, God is the only judge, he sure is. You want God to judge that? Baby, God, he is also a God that will give us grace and mercy. So if anything, we want to pray for that before he ends up with the judgment part. Okay. So yes, we will definitely wait because we're all waiting for justice for Romeca. We're waiting to hear of, is there going to be an indictment or will this case be closed? We want to hear, is there a grand jury, looking into this? These are things that all of us are waiting to hear about, not just y'all. Okay. We're all waiting to hear about that. Okay. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Colby's TV because she also talked about this situation earlier. And I definitely agree with some of her sentiments with this as well. Because the auntie, I also feel, wants us to be quiet about this. They feel that if we get quiet about this, this will eventually go away. They are surprised that after a month and something, people are still talking about this. So if y'all think about it, the more we talk about it, the more they have to come up with different things to tell us, okay, or to keep this going. It's the gaslighting in that whole throughout that whole post for me. It doesn't work on me either. Isn't she lovely? Because I sense everything she's trying to do. Okay. We're very grounded, analytical. Yes. Claressa, yes, very jealous. She is trying to play on words and deflecting. Yep. I live in Philadelphia and it's bad here, but they will do a press conference with the queen. wait, y'all. As a bookmark right there, child, I watched the press conference yesterday. And not only will they do a press conference, but they'll throw each other under the bus as well. Whoever that was, the DA that was speaking was throwing the judges under the bus, the commissioner. I said, no, wait a second. I didn't know. I thought y'all supposed to be unified. Jasmine said the police can't speak unless the mayor allows them to have a press conference. Uh-oh. He controls our police department and the superintendent, and our mayor don't like the police. It's a lot going on here. And I can believe that. Okay. Yeah, use the name of God, but don't know his word. Say it again. I hope that all of her posts are read in court. Right. You can't sow destruction and reap peace, and God will judge, and he is a just God. Thank you. Remember, her very first post was not going to address the public, but now that's all she is doing. Clock it. Okay, because the thing of it is, every time she says something, she's very contradictory. So, like how she says on this post that she is done. No, she's not done. She's going to post probably later today or tomorrow. As long as we continue to go, she's going to go. Okay? As long as people are saying justice for Romeca, they're going to continue to post, continue to do her pictures and all of that to try to make it look a certain type of way. Yes, they will. The DA will tell it all to keep his name out of it. Deanna, that's what he was doing. He was talking about the bond, how the bond, he told them it should be one amount, but they lowered the amount. That's why the guy got out. He was out of jail because the bond was too low. I said, is he telling? He's telling about the corruption, okay? See, that's what they need to do. Come out to the public, Chicago. Tell us what's really going on, okay? Get one of those crooked cops or somebody to come out and say, look, the mayor, he doesn't care. Okay, he doesn't care about this case like he probably doesn't care about ICE running all around the place up in Chicago. They have so many things that are taking place right now, y'all. And I mean, it's really taking the attention off of the things that I know that we're looking into like that as well. Okay, who is she looking like? Let me help you. They probably joining forces. He probably gets some posts and pictures from her. Out of all of the pictures he has of Holly, some of those pictures probably came from her, allegedly, in my opinion. Okay, came from that lady, and we know where she's getting them from. Okay, from the one who has her page deactivated for some reason. And someone asked me that yesterday on TikTok. And I was like, girl, she has a page, but she's deactivated that with the quickness. It seemed like she deactivated that page on her way to the jail. Okay, we couldn't even go get a sneak peek. They did that. That's probably like that girl said on TikTok. She was probably calling the aunt, look, deactivate everything. Okay. Like on Lean On Me. Hey, get the chains off. The enemy is here. Get the chains off the door. Get the locks off. Okay. Baby, she was telling them to shut it all down. We couldn't even get a peek into her page. It was gone so fast. Once people found out her name was Quadasia and not Holly, if you tried to go into her social media, it was gone. Okay? It was gone. Now, let me pull up that video. Okay, because she just said, hold on, y'all. I have to do it a different way. She just said that Romeca had blocked Holly in. And to me, y'all, it looked like plenty of space for Holly to get out. Okay, now, last night there were other theories coming out. Okay. I don't know where some of this is coming from, of course, I just kind of share some of the stuff that I hear because some of it I just don't share at all because it just don't even make sense. This particular theory was that allegedly the night before, Holly and Carlos were not together. So, which opens up a whole other narrative of where was Carlos and where was Holly? Okay, was she at his place? Okay, who let her in and out? Does she have a key? Like, I have so many questions. So when things are thrown out, y'all, I start asking myself all these different questions. Like, I'm thinking they were riding over together from his place, okay? And she was putting her baby into the car. But now that may change. It's so much stuff. I don't even know where to go with all of this, okay? I don't know where he was and why she would have been there by herself. That's something I've wondered. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Let me pull up this video. Y'all, it's starting to thunder, so I ain't gonna be on here too much longer. Child, look. I love this kind of rain, though. I ain't gonna lie. Make sure y'all tap that like button as this video is populated. Make sure y'all tap the like. Let everyone know we are live. Trying to get into a place I can pause. Okay, let me kind of pause it there for a second. All right, now Holly's car is right there to the right of the screen, where Carlos, you see the body of you can see kind of the little blood towards the back of Holly's car down there. Hers is right there on the right, the little Chevrolet, right? Now, Romeca's car is parked, as y'all will see, is the white car. Okay, how is this if her car is over here? I hope the aunt sees this because I'm still trying to find out why we still going with that narrative that she was blocked in. How is Romeca's car to the back left side of Holly's car? But then when you get here, she had plenty of room to get out. She has plenty of space right there to get out. Look at that space over there. To the left. Romeca's car is to the back. They didn't block her in.
I'm licensed to carry. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bitch. You shot somebody, nigga. What the fuck's wrong with you? Calm down. Calm the fuck down.
Look at that, y'all. It's plenty of space. Look at the space.
The gun in the car. The gun, she shot her? Let's go right here. She shot her. She shot her. She put the gun in the car.
There's her car right there.
She put the gun in the car. The gun in the car.
She's not even double parked. Okay, she wasn't even double parked close to her. Her car, look at this. That's Holly's car, the black car right there. She had plenty of space to get out. So that dispels that narrative that Romeca was blocking her in. I thought we had gotten past that, but the aunt is still writing that information in a post. Okay, if that part is, come on now, we should be past that part. She is not blocking her in. So you mean to tell me, oh, now y'all will come back with, oh, somebody move Romeca's car then. Okay, so every time we dispel something y'all say, then it's how can we combat that? Let's see. Can we say Romeca's car was up closer and then because she had gotten shot, somebody went and got the keys and they backed up Romeca's car? What y'all gonna say next? Okay, you could look on here and see Holly could get out. Whoo, child. They are too calm and nonchalant as his son's mother lay dying. Yes, it's demented. Both of them were too calm. He's worried about being on the phones, doing whatever he's doing. Okay. And then she's back on the car pretending like she's talking to somebody. Like the acting skills are not given. Okay. And then it was alleged. Hi, Bless J. Welcome. It was alleged that possibly Romeca's phone was taken because maybe she was recording the first part of what was happening. And if they release that part, it would show that they have her phone, which on the police report, I thought it was stated that the police had her phone. So did she have two phones? Because how did it magically get out of the police station? Now y'all got me thinking about All the Queen's Men, that episode where a cop went into the evidence room, okay, and took it out. So do we got some crooked mess happening at the police station where somebody going into the evidence room and getting the phones and passing phones out? What is going on here? How do we have so much going back and forth? Like some stuff, that's why I said this case is just being taken to a crazy place. It's too much. This was happening first. Oh, but now this. It was this, but now this. We are now a month in, over a month, and now we're going backwards. Okay. Bless J said, looking at your video, I don't even see Who video? I didn't have a video. Oh, a wig. That wasn't my video. I didn't even bring that up. Now, somebody in the comments brought that up yesterday on my live because I never saw it. Even when I put my glasses on, I didn't see it. So you weren't alone. But someone did, a couple of people had a video saying that there was a wig on the ground. Yes. But I think that's been dispelled. The aunt came on to Royal D's panel and she already dispelled that. She said, no, Romeca did not have on a wig and she had dyed her hair red. So she said that part was not true. Also, the aunt said that allegedly Romeca and Holly used to talk. I guess they were cordial at some point in their lives, and a lot of us never knew that part either. Hey, Tanya, she said, I heard that Holly wasn't even supposed to be there. She was supposed to have went home. She was there stalking to see who he pulled up with. Ro didn't know she was there. She started it. And see, that's what I'm saying. I did hear that as well, and that's alleged. Because that, you know what? Now, if that part is true, y'all. Hey, Sunshine, welcome. Yeah, her aunt said she wasn't wearing a wig. If that part is true, do y'all know this changes the whole situation? Oh my God. If that part was true, that means that this thing really did start because of Holly. If that's true, if that is to be proven that she was not supposed to be there and she was still there, that would actually make sense. Let me tell y'all. Now, not saying this is true. This is just based off of what was put out. I'm just giving my opinion on something, right? Okay. Shout out to Sunshine. Thank you for the super sticker and for being a sponsor for today's live. I appreciate that. Now, this is the thing, y'all. Picture this. Because remember, Carlos's truck was double parked, right? He may have known that she was there and she had parked in that spot, right? He's probably thinking she's gone. Let me go ahead and get my spot. But when he pulls up, she hadn't left yet. And she trying to allegedly, I guess, get the baby into the car. So he probably surprised. He may have very well been trying to go to the gym. Okay. And now you have a whole situation. Now this is just me talking through some, y'all. I'm not saying that this is what happened. I'm just saying based off of some information that was put out allegedly, Holly was not still supposed to be there because her and Carlos was not together the night before. So now I'm just trying to think of how with this new scenario, every day is something new coming out, how would this work together? So then if he had texted someone saying he was going to the gym, I don't know, if he was going home or something, pulls in, she's still there. He can't get into his parking spot. Okay. So then by that time, because he dealing with her, trying to see, girl, why you still here? Blah, 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 blah. Romeca has dropped her son off and it made a U-turn. So now they all caught out there. I don't know. That's the only thing I can kind of, with the new situation coming out of what's being stated, I don't know. That's the only thing I can see. Now, what happens after that, we still don't know. Okay? We still don't know if that's true. It's just stuff being thrown out with no evidence. See how that goes? If you put out a new narrative, you gotta bring some type of evidence or people will continue to be confused. Okay? That's why I say it's not coming from me. This is stuff that I have heard, okay, in the bushes or heard from a supporter that sent it to me. But I'm just like, y'all, if we put stuff out, put out the evidence with it because it confuses people in an already difficult situation. And we don't know where all of this new stuff is coming from. But, hey, with that information, this is what I can see, happening. Sadly, I don't think that those rookies even thought about Romeca's phone chances are Carlos took her phone. No, they did not even look. They let him mess all over her body without saying, "Hey, back up." We could see that in the video. They didn't even say, "Oh, move out the way. This is a crime scene," or nothing. So they are not thinking about a phone. So if he was out there getting another phone, trying to do X, Y, Z, they wouldn't. If we don't know, they definitely didn't know. Okay, we could tell that on the video. The aunt said it was no wig. She said Romeca had just dyed her hair. Right, exactly. Tanya said that, and Carlos was trying to hush the witness. He even walked up to that girl with the braids and pushed her back. Something ain't right about this. Right. Yes. And one of the ladies that had talked about that did apologize. Yes, she did. Shiva did a live today, but she apologized to the aunt on yesterday, and she did a video today apologizing. So I get that, and that's why I say, y'all, we don't want to add. And I loved her video this morning about taking accountability and not adding extra things to the family, because they're still trying to get to the bottom of this, and really both families, okay, are trying to get to the bottom of what happened, what really happened, and letting the detectives do their job. But in the midst of this, if people are adding extra things, you got to come with some evidence, okay, of why you're saying now something new, because all it does is confuse the situation when we already don't know a lot of the answers. Okay. Joyce said, and as far as the wig, it looks like a wig to me. It could have been a person that was passing by and heard the pow fire and took off running, and her wig. Wait a minute. Not a person watching what happened and the wig flew off. Okay, Joy. Now don't add nothing else to that. Okay. We done with the wig situation. Tanya said he couldn't concentrate on Romeca because he was trying to come up with a plan. He looked panicked, like, how are we going to explain this? They both need to go to jail. That's a good point too. Yeah, he was trying to think of how could they explain what had just happened. The police were so lost. It was embarrassing. I'm afraid for this case, right? Mad respect, and the video was genuine, and she really was. What's that last word, Deanna? Yeah, I just really, really hate it. So prayers up for you're good, Joy. Joy, you have me tickled. I was reading some of the comments yesterday under my other video, y'all. And Joy always has me tickled because she's like all of us. We get to a point where we're saying, "Oh, I'm done with this," but then we can't turn away. We're invested. We want to see this thing out. A lot of us have been here from the very beginning, and we want to see justice for Romeca, whether that be this goes to trial or whether that be the case is closed. And we just pray, that God eventually, gives her justice the way he sees fit. We just want it to be however, but we are standing firm that it's still justice for Romeca. Carlos might have been trying to ask Romeca for the not wait a minute. Not he down there, you saying trying to ask for the code to unlock it? Oh my God. Wait a minute, original babe, girl. Now that would be colder than cold. Okay, if he was doing that. She said, what y'all remember when he was on the video leaning down? She said he probably was asking her for the code to unlock her phone. Oh my God. That would be so heartless. Acting like he was going to call her mom since the EMT was there. He wanted to delete stuff from her phone. Now, you know what, original babe? It just made me laugh to even think of that just happening. But in all seriousness, you are on to something. If he was really, that could have definitely been something. Now, I don't know if he has the mom's phone number. Oh, hold up. You made me think about something too. Y'all see how that sparks? Hey, Black Paris, welcome. Okay. Y'all remember at the beginning of all of this, right? And her mom stated that Romeca usually calls her every morning. That morning, Romeca had not called her, but she stated that she found out about her daughter, not from the police, but remember how she said she found out what happened to Romeca? She stated that she found out what happened to Romeca through a text message. And it was a text message showing her body laying on the ground. And remember, I said, now wait a minute. A random person wouldn't have had her mom's phone number. It would have been someone with her mom's that knew her mom, not a random person. Because I was like, man, that's kind of heartless or cold to send a picture like that to her mom to let her know what happened to her daughter. And it had to have been someone that would have had access to her phone number. Now, with that said, okay, blame all of this on Original Bay. Is it possible in that moment when he was down there doing what he was doing, do y'all think that he was the one that sent that picture to her mother? Because she never said who sent it to her. Kimberly said, probably trying to put her fingerprint to open the phone. Child, I hope not. Oh my gosh. Nina said, yes, we have, and I will continue to be her voice until the end. Justice for Romeca, yes. He had 2 phones on that video, yes. It could be face recognition. Hi, I'm her, Miss Lynn. Welcome. Yes, you remember that? Deanna. I'm just saying, I don't know, but y'all, I'm going back. You just sparked something that happened at the beginning of this. Because I was like, who in the world would send a picture like that to her mother? And then y'all remember that the sister, Romeca's sister, one of her older sisters, came live. Remember this. Now I'm going back in my mind. She said that's when she was on live crying and hysterical. She said, y'all, please stop sending that picture to us. Stop sending that picture to my mom. Quit sharing that picture. Do it for us. Don't keep sharing it. Block, report that page, because that picture was being sent to them and being shared. So either someone was out there recording and took the picture, but at the same time, I don't know if someone saw that picture being shared that was close to the family that then shared that picture, or was it someone up close and personal that took the picture and then sent that to her mother as well? Yeah, I believe he definitely took one. Okay, now I don't know if he for sure sent that to her mother, but I do remember those chain of events. They could be well known and someone knows both of them. That's a possibility. Yeah, she never said who sent it. They're saying the police doesn't have Romeca's phone now. That's what I just said, y'all. I don't know what then happened. My thing is this. If the phone was on the police report, that the phones were in their custody and the pow was in their custody and the phones are no longer in their custody, then what do y'all think? Okay, because all I could think of was the episode of Queens, All the Queen's Men. The police officer went there and was getting evidence from the evidence room. That's all I could think of. Oh my gosh, right. Derek, oh my gosh. Okay. We got to pray ICE don't take our witnesses, Lord. They said Holly was in the car camping. You know what? And I don't put it past her. If she was hiding in a car at an event, I don't put that past her. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past her to duck down and camp out. But how do you camp out with the whole baby? And then we don't even hear the baby. We don't see the baby. The whole baby is a mystery in this whole situation. The feds took it, possibly. Okay, the dirty cops. Hey, y'all, this thing is deeper than what we think. Okay, I've been saying that. I've been saying that. We were trying to get Q to speak up on the panel that day. He was up there. My sis was telling me the other day, she said, girl, he was giving names out and everything. He is playing a dangerous game. He was giving names. If y'all go back and look at that live, he was about to spill some beans, but he caught himself. It's deeper than what we think on that part. If the phones were in police custody, the police still have them phones. Joy, they're saying the phones are not with the police. We need some evidence. Okay. How do homeless families live in a car? It's possible. You know, the girl from In Vogue that recently came out, I think at the beginning of this year, and she talked about how she was homeless and she's living in her car. And she has her own YouTube channel, y'all. And she shows her day to day, the things that she does, how she takes her showers, eats, and all of that. Sleep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she too is a special kind of special. I like how you put that. Yeah, she's supposedly been in the car all night. That's why all the windows were down. But you know what? I heard that all of the windows were down. But y'all, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this video again. We'll try to pause it. She was saying something about in the car. And you can tell when she listens to somebody, she needs to put the phone down. She forgot all about talking to the witness for the problem. That girl's like, leave me alone. Okay. Now, they said the windows were down. Okay. What point did they roll the windows up? To me, it looks like the windows are up. What do y'all think? Because I was looking, I said, well, are the windows up? They look up to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me get my glasses. Micah, let me get my glasses. I've been trying to peep that too. Because I was like, they keep saying the windows were down. And to me, it looks like the windows are up. Go get my glasses. Go get my glasses. When the popo get the telling on, when the popo get there, they telling on everyone. Right. It was too much chaos. Yeah, they need to get those phone records as well. Yeah, and it was hot. Yeah. So you said all of the windows were down? Okay, the police was caught with a 16-year-old he impregnated, and he barely got punishment. This is the same police station that's in charge of this case. Wait, one of the police was caught with a 16-year-old. What? Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So I'm her. Miss Lynn said they down. Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, Mahogany. The crime scene video from the news shows the windows down. Okay, got you. Because to me, I see a glare. Now, y'all know that that also catches Q in another law. Okay, and we're going to go with that because, like I said, I see a glare like is up in the front. But I mean, hey, okay, let's just say they all down. He said that the car was running because I brought that up. Hey, Nicole, good afternoon, sis. Look, I'm still thinking this morning. Okay. He said the car was running because I'm like, now look, she has her baby out there in the heat with the windows down. And I said, now that's crazy. And he said that the window was up and the car was running. That's why they thought that Romeca, when she was trying to go for the driver's side, they thought she was going to take off with the car. Now, see how lies get dispelled? Okay. Because at what point did someone cut the car on? So now, if we're going to say that Romeca's car was blocking in Holly's, nope, we dispelled that. There is enough space. Romeca's is to the left and to the back of that car with a wide space in between. Bam, case closed on that. Some stuff we can close our own case. Okay, we are closing the case on the fact that she blocked her in. We're closing that. Okay, we're closing the case on it's no wig. There was no wig on the ground. Okay. Now these windows, I'm still stuck because I'm seeing a glare, like some windows is up in the front, but that back window looks a little down. I can't see the other side of the car, so I don't know for sure. Okay. Now, whether the car was running or not, baby, she should have been out of gas. Okay. If you spending the night in the car in the windows, I would have been afraid to do that in Chicago. Leaving the windows down while you in a car with a whole baby by yourself overnight? Child, I would have been afraid to do that. Okay. No, when the police get Quadre, he was sing like a bird. Okay. Right. Hey, Angela, welcome. Hey, hi, Catherine. Why would she take off in Holly's car? That didn't make sense. It did. Okay, so when he said it, I just was listening. But child, everything he said that didn't make sense, it just went in one ear out the other. Why in the world she got her own car? Okay, so she would have took off in her own car. Okay, so that part did not make sense. I'm surprised, even if the windows were down, and we brought this up yesterday, that baby would have been crying. Okay. Because for one, you get hot, you got hollering out here, you got gunshots, you got all kind of stuff, fussing and all of this. And we have yet to hear a baby. Right. I guess that was her protection. Okay. Now wait, Black parents. Okay. See how we're onto something. Is that the reason she could have had the pow out ready? Loaded? Come on. Okay. Okay. Come on now. Because we're like, well, why is she see how the other stuff now doesn't make sense? Because I was like, in the beginning, I said, now she was walking. First, we're thinking they're walking from his place with the baby. She's putting the baby in the car. Q talking about she had the doggone gun tucked up into those stretch pants. Child, I'm still trying to figure out how could she have gotten look at these pants. How would she have gotten some weapon in these pants? Let me get to a spot where we can see the pants good. Okay, baby, the gun would have fell straight through. All right, so that didn't make sense. However, I knew that, hey, Becca, welcome. Thank you for joining. I knew it had to have been loaded because in the midst of an argument, she didn't really have time to go over. Let me get my bullets. Let me put the bullets in, things like that. She just seemed like she went and grabbed it and did what she did, right? So that would make sense that if you're in a car in Chicago, stalking someone or waiting on someone, whichever one you want to call it, okay, with your baby, and you have all of the windows down. Now, all of this is alleged because, hey, we don't know for sure. Then that would make sense to have your pow pow ready in case someone walks up to your car. Okay. He was up all night in that car with a pow pow. Girl, okay. That baby was tired. He probably wanted to go somewhere and get in the bed. Probably was hungry. Hopefully she had enough formula. All of that. Quadra is telling the story. We have to piece it together through all of his lies. The truth is hidden in there. Exactly. It's hidden somewhere up in there. Yeah, she was up all night calling Carlos. And y'all, allegedly, the aunt said that she was calling him like 18 times, allegedly. Okay, they were not together allegedly that night. So this adds a whole other layer to this thing. Probably had on the same clothes. That could be another reason why she had on the same clothes. Because if you waiting in the car, she probably didn't want to take a chance of going to the nearest. I don't know. Do y'all have Love's there in Chicago, Jasmine? That's the only one I can think of for now. Or Buc-ee's. I don't know. Do y'all have Buc-ee's? Now, if y'all have a Buc-ee's or a Love's gas station, I know those two places, or your local YMCA, okay? At those places, you could go and take showers, okay? You could change your clothes and so forth. So if she had been out there waiting, we just talking this through, y'all. If she had been out there waiting, she probably did not want to chance missing him, okay? To go to a Love's, a Buc-ee's, or a YMCA to go and change her clothes and take a bath or a shower. So she was like, shoes, I'm just going to stay here, same clothes. She probably put that sweatshirt on, maybe got a little nippy in the overnight hours, okay? And she put that on. Jasmine said, I don't have confidence in the police properly investigating this case, but Holly and Big Los was definitely wrong. I think this was a planned kill. Unfortunately, she was set up. Okay. Right. The pants weren't even fitting her properly. Okay. Carlos and Holly never left that apartment that morning. Holly was in the car waiting for Carlos to show back up, allegedly. Right. She had to be in the car because it was alternate side parking. She didn't get a ticket. Okay. We need to find a traffic agent that usually gives tickets right there. Oh, that's a good point to know if she was in that car also all night. I don't think nothing that Q says is true. No, I think it's some stuff that is. I'm going to be honest. Right, allegedly. The stuff he accused Romeca of is what Holly has been doing. Yes, I can see that. A lot of stuff. Jasmine, that part wasn't exposed. Because that's my question too. What's his alibi? Okay. Where was he? She was in the mall 2 days prior. She could have worked clothes, or she could have wore Carlos's clothes. Shoot, she probably was waiting to see if Carlos had some more Romeca's clothes. Shaba, because she was good and known for wearing her stuff. Okay, allegedly. What was said was she been calling Carlos' phone all that day. Yeah, I could see that. That clown is a joke. Steal the car for what? To get a Grand Theft Auto charge? That's ludicrous. Q need to stop the foolishness. That's what I was saying that day. I said, no, why would she want to take her car? Like, because I was trying to figure out, why was she, in his story that he tries to tell, why are y'all saying that she was going towards the driver's side and that Carlos was trying to block her? Okay, because what was the point in her getting into the driver's side? Now, the thing that I see and what I tried to show y'all via demonstration in that video was, if she was being held by her waist, okay, And if he's saying allegedly Holly is on the sidewalk by the gate, and if the witness is saying Carlos is saying she's about to get her gun and Holly takes off moving, was she trying to get away and find safety wherever she could? That would be the closest place, because her car would have been behind Carlos and she would have had to run back around him again, okay, or trying to get into a place of ducking a bullet. Okay, you know how like if you're these cops, they drive up and there's a whole shootout or something. What do? They pull their cars and they hurry up and open the doors and they duck down to dodge a bullet. Okay, now that's about people around that are seeing this, because all of that is happening so fast. So you have some people saying, oh, he's trying to hold her back so that she won't go and take off running to go towards Holly. But then you have some saying, no, she could have very well been struggling to get away because she is fearing for her life. She's trying to now get out of the way of the threat. It is 2 versus 1, and one now has a weapon. She knew in that moment she was in trouble. Okay? And I stand by that. I do not think if she sees this girl armed and she's unarmed that she feels she's superhuman to keep coming after her. Come on now. That doesn't make sense. Joy, he's not to be trusted at all, but I do believe Carlos is giving him some information and the rest he's making up. Her and Q were wearing Romeca's clothes. Right. Clock it. Oh my God. What is the obsession? Y'all, I have never, when I tell y'all, I have never seen anything or heard anything like this in my entire life. Okay. Of 40 plus years. You got the girl who is so rich, so, oh my gosh, so miss everything, wearing the clothes of her baby's daddy's other baby mother that she doesn't like. You have the friend who is trying to tarnish her character and her name being seen in pictures wearing her shoes and her purse. What is happening? I've never seen anything like this. She could have gone to a gym to shower. We have a lot of gyms over here. Okay, but do you have to have a membership? Hey, Tabany, welcome, sis. I am doing great. How are you? Quadre is watching all of the lives and studying them and responding based on what is said in those lives. Right. Because if they say Romeca was trying to do something to the baby, it takes away from Holly having to retreat. Exactly. Right. Nicole said that makes sense. Holly already being out there waiting and calling back to Los on edge and reacting so frantically. Right. And think about this. A trigger, if she was already on edge because of him, guess what? Then you see Romeca pulling up, making the U-turn. Child, she was done. You already got me out here waiting. I've been blowing up your phone. Now here she comes. Okay. Y'all know that took her over the edge for real. And so now, if, Romeca didn't know she was out there, she's like, what are you doing here? That's probably, like someone said, that's probably when Romeca said, I was just dropping my son off. I think the witness said that. She was saying, are y'all kidding me? I was dropping my son off. Because she was probably confused as to, girl, what you doing? And I don't know. Like I said, I can't, till I get some proof. I don't know that part. That hasn't been proven. Either he knew she was still out there and this was all planned, or else he was surprised too. And this thing all went left. I don't know. Child, Jasmine said, poor Romeca, all she wanted to do was give her son his lunch. She should not be dead. Right. Holly needs to be locked up. She wasn't fearful. She just didn't like her, so she killed her. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Watch the video that Keys just put out. You'll be surprised about Carlos's alibi. Okay. I'll definitely watch. Okay, you just got up, girl. You slept a long time, right? Allegedly, okay. Y'all, it would make sense. I'm telling you, we don't know for sure, but that would make sense. And then everything just clashed, right? Yep. They all were surprised because Holly was out of play. Yes, girl. Oh my gosh. And then, I mean, if you think about it, so then her thing is she has her license to carry. Okay. Now, the two things, think about this part. Wow, this just makes sense too. She already has the restraining order. Now, y'all know how I feel about that restraining order already. And she has the license to carry. Those were the main things she was throwing out. That was her saving grace in her head, right? But because of how all of this went down, he came up with the other part. We gonna say it's self-defense. Okay. He out there trying to get even the people there, the witnesses, which is why he kept repeating it, to then say it's self-defense. Okay. That would go with why he said that. She wasn't saying that at first. She was more focused on the restraining order and the license to carry part. But that does not necessarily give you the right to unalive someone the way that you just did. So now we have to figure out the rest of this. And in that instant, well, hey, it was self-defense. We got to try to come up with something as to why you felt that it was self-defense. Was she a threat? Come on, Nicole. I'm telling you, girl. She wasn't yelling the self-defense part. He was. You would have thought she would have said that. She was just yelling, oh, because the Hispanic guy had already said a restraining order or something. So she was making sure she put out, I have a restraining order and I have a license to carry. Okay. But then he gave the other reason, self-defense. Okay. So then now you have to try to prove, okay, was she coming after you? Thinking that restraining order covered her and her child, which it does not. Her child's name is not on there. Okay. So now we got to make it look like that she was coming after the child to make it like, oh, okay, that's why you felt threatened. And go back to this too. Now, let me tell y'all why else I think they added the child. Based off of the messages that were put out there. Hi, Sienna. She thought she was in Florida. Child. Okay, we're going to get into that story too. On another live, child. That's crazy too. Okay. What was I about to go? Oh, based off of the messages. Okay, now, whether these messages, y'all, are real or fake, there are some messages that have mentioned, probably allegedly, a child, her child, and saying nasty things about her child. Now, based off of those nasty things that were put into those messages, and you put it also and couple that with the baby being there, then if you present it like that, that would look like, oh, I was afraid that because these messages show this, that she was going to come after the baby. Okay, so that part was added. I'm telling y'all, something stands out to me about these messages. I haven't seen the messages. All we know is what she put on the restraining order and some other things that Q has said. Okay, I know we don't believe everything that Q's saying, but I believe that based off of whether they were real or fake, that something was said about the child. It could have been words that were said out of anger or not. or it could have been a fake narrative already put into place to have that level of extra evidence to go with what you were trying to do. That part I haven't figured out. She probably thought they were together that night. Possibly, honey. I'm telling you, I was thinking that same thing. She probably thought, oh, y'all were together. And here I am with your child here waiting on you overnight. I'm blowing up your phone. And he thinks that's going to be easy to get rid of her. No, it's not. So Roro is basically in the wrong place at the wrong time. Possibly. Nina said, I've been listening, but I've been washing linen off my bed, planting flowers in my yard, putting down ant poison, getting my yard ready for next year. So I've been in and out. Okay, Nina. Hey, girl, I understand. Nina, you doing work that they do in the spring. Now, not the ant poisoning, because ants are out right now, okay? But because baby, they're trying to get ready for winter. But I know about the planting of the flowers part. You are on it. And the 3 cents might have been with Holly and Q. Nicole, Romeca supposed to have been at her son's school. Yeah, she did. She was at his school. And then she turned around, made that U-turn, and bam. This is where, okay, on this part here, this is the moment everyone has been waiting to see and to find out what happens in that instant. That's the part we haven't seen yet. Hey, Healing Hearts, greetings to you. Thank you for joining. Even when the defense is going to ask why, the first thing out of her mouth was, I have a CCL and not I was defending myself and my child. Thank you, Sienna. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Because that wasn't her reason. That was Carlos's reason he gave her. That's why he went over there telling it to her. Because if that was her real reason, you wouldn't have to keep going over there saying it or saying it to the crowd. She would have said it. I was defending. That would have been the first thing she would have yelled. I was defending my baby, myself. I am licensed to carry. And this girl was coming. We wouldn't have been saying no restraining order. That would have been the first thing out of my mouth. Child, the first thing is, baby, she up here about to come over here and get me and my baby. And yes, I did shoot her. That would have been the first thing out of my mouth. That was the first thing out of his mouth. Okay? See, hers was just unlicensed to carry. But he probably even knew, girl, with a license to carry and a doggone restraining order, that don't mean nothing. We got to come up with this whole plan now. We're going to go with self-defense. Okay? Now we got to make this look good. How was it self-defense? Even then, the defense is going to ask, okay, I read that one. She used everything Romeca said to build a narrative. Yes. Isn't she lovely? In my opinion, yes. He better watch out because he will be next. She will unalive him if he's not careful. Okay. Lady Devon. Hey. Oh, right, Nicole. Right. The U-turn was probably because she forgot the lunch. Yep. Justice for Romeca, right. The U-turn was probably because she forgot lunch. Well, no, she had already dropped it off. Hi, Brittany. Welcome. Yeah, it is sad. It is in that moment that she had to lose her life. Well, hopefully more proof, more evidence will come out, y'all. About this, according to the aunt, now I don't know how truthful it is. She's saying that they're waiting to see if she's going to be charged or if the case will be closed. This is Holly's aunt. Romeca's aunt said yesterday that allegedly, hey, the case was still open. They still been marching every week. Fighting for justice. So what? I don't know. Right, Jasmine? Hey, in my own mind, that's how I came up with it. Oh, we got to go with this. Okay. Oh, I do all season plans. Oh, okay, got you. And I'm also planting some mom's cutting my rose bushes back. And okay, I love it. I love it. But y'all, that was all that I had on today. I thank you all for joining. If you came in late, we did a segment on the drama that is unfolding between Laila Ali and Claressa Shields. Make sure y'all tune into that. We had some good conversation. That was part one. Laila will be back. Okay, because now, you know, Claressa wanted her attention. She got it. Okay. And Laila is about showing receipts. Because what you're not about to do is play on her name or her father's name. Okay. And some of us feel that same way too. Don't keep going there. We'll let you slide. But if you keep going, we got to stand up. Okay, and say something. Tabany said it's full ongoing under investigation. And like I said, Chicago, y'all need to take a page out of Philadelphia's book. Because what I can see is they love to inform their people and tattletale on each other. Okay. They gonna throw each other under the bus, but they will come and give us some updates. Y'all have yet to give us any updates. We need an update. Okay. We know y'all got a lot going on. You usually don't care. But in this particular instance, this is a way that you can get your people's trust back. Okay. Take this case seriously. Do your job and show that you care about the people of your community. Okay. And what happens to them. Anything less looks like you don't care. Can y'all hear me? I don't know. Something just happened. Thank you, Nicole. Can y'all hear me? Put a 1 if you can hear me. Joyce said this isn't going to end well for Claressa, right? Sienna said, I need Laila to pay Ann Dust, though, and the type to just pop up. She tried to fight her fighter for losing once. What? Can y'all hear me? I'm trying to make sure. Something just happened. Okay, y'all can't. Okay. All right. Also, special thanks to Terry, Sunshine, and Jay for the super stickers and the super chats. And thank y'all for being sponsors in today's live. Also, you know, when you hit that like button, y'all, that is for free. When you share a video, that is also for free. But if you would like to support the channel, and watching the ads, that's for free as well. Okay. But if you would also like to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat. My Cash App is on the screen, or buy a coffee, and that is in the description field of this video. I also linked a full video for Sweet Ma for Life. She did an awesome, fantastic reaction with evidence. Now, she's been doing her own investigating, okay, with this whole Claressa Laila thing, and she did a whole live. And guess what? Laila Ali saw her live and commented underneath that video, y'all. She even asking her for some of the receipts. I said, come through. Okay. Look, Laila, she may use some of Sweet Ma's receipts in part 2, because Laila did say a part 2 is coming. Thank you, Jasmine girl. So I thank each and every one of y'all so much. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend. Set your notifications. Make sure you subscribe, because you never know when I'm going to go live. Thank y'all so much, and y'all have a blessed day. Until next time.
To be continued.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.